Blade Muscle A. Here we have a full blade, also known as a clod, that we're going to separate into its main muscle groups. First, we will take this muscle off the bottom and remove that to make it easier to work on the rest of the blade. This muscle is ideal for casseroles and mince. After removing this muscle, we will now take this muscle off the top. Muscle B. Following the seam, rolling the meat away as we go, using the tip of the knife, using the seam cut method to follow it all the way through and remove the muscle. And remove the muscle. Muscle D, oyster blade. The next muscle that we're going to remove is the oyster blade. Identify the seam and simply with the tip of the knife, follow the seam all the way down. The seam appears very clearly here. Gently slice and slice all the way through to remove the oyster blade away from the bowler blade. Here we have the oyster blade. Here we have the bowler blade. Muscle F. We will simply trim the bowler blade back. Take off all of the sinew, all of the silver skin and remove all of the fat, trimming the excess fat and sinew away to reveal a totally denuded muscle. When removing the fat and the silver trim, ensure the knife is at a 25 to 30 degree angle upwards to follow the natural seam all the way through and remove the silver trim. By having the knife tilted slightly upwards, it minimizes waste and all it removes is the silver trim. Once you have removed all of the silver trim from the underside of the muscle, then remove the fat and also all of the silver trim from the top. Simply follow the seam all the way through, slightly pulling away as you go. Here we have a bowler blade roast. Here we have the oyster blade that we will now trim back, removing all of the silver trim off the muscle and the fat. Insert the point of the knife underneath the silver trim, slightly angling the knife upwards and trimming away as you go. Now we will remove the fat. Simply identify the seam between the fat and the silver trim. Gently pull back, running the knife in between the fat and the silver trim. Square the ends off slightly to make it easier to work with, and remove this end muscle. Now we will remove the silver trim from the oyster blade. Again, insert the tip of the knife, angling it up slightly and pushing it through underneath the silver trim. Remove any excess. Here we have a full oyster blade.